So I've noticed a lot of successful comedians. By successful, I mean the ones where you keep clapping until they actually reach the microphone. Too loud. She's joining me on stage. Oh, okay. A lot of successful comedians have catchphrases, like "get her done," or "fuck that potato." So I decided I needed my own. I've come up with one. It goes like this: "That's it, that's the joke." That's it, that's the joke. Kids are sexting each other these days. That's the thing that our children are doing. They're sexting each other. And I'm told we're supposed to be really concerned about it. It's the scourge of this generation. We're supposed to be very worried that the kids are sexting each other. And I think it's terrible. You know, it's so much worse than when we were their age and we were, actually fucking one another. Wouldn't want their phone to get a virus. Boy, that'd be terrible. I don't know if kids today appreciate how good they have it, though. For them to realize that when we were young, we had to settle for pornographic images of people we didn't even know. Just strangers. I see people say this to kids. They say, "It's not that bad. Cheer up, it's not that bad." I think that's a terrible thing to say to a sad kid. When you see depressed teenagers and you say, "It's not that bad," one, it means you have kind of a shitty memory. And you just lack empathy. People say, "Smile, it's not that bad." That's the worst. People say that to grown-ups too. If anyone ever says "smile, it's not that bad" to you, I think that you have a right and maybe even an obligation to punch them in the face. But the caveat is you have to follow that punch in the face with the phrase, "Smile, it's not that bad." When people say that to kids, "Smile, it's not that," or just "it's not that bad," and I think that that's a rotten thing to say to kids. But I also don't buy this "it gets better" campaign. Have you seen it? That's the big campaign for kids, "it gets better." And I just don't know if they're buying it. Like we say it, "Hey, it gets better," and they look at us and go, "Are you sure?" I don't know about that. Maybe you guys could join my campaign. My campaign is, "You get used to it." Hang in there, kids. You get used to it. Numbness. That's what we can offer you. Now, there are a lot of beautiful women here tonight. It's weird because I heard that Eddie was volunteering to do this, and my first thought was, man, that guy is a class act. That guy is a generous, caring, wonderful human being. And then I went on Facebook, and I saw a picture of Eddie with the garden goddesses, and I was like, that guy's a fucking dog. Now, mind you, I also said, "Yeah, Eddie, sign me up. We'll go. We're gonna do this." I get a lot of material from my daughter. You'll hear more about her later. But Eddie just reminded me of something when he was talking about the nipples. My daughter's breastfed and breastfed past the point where she was talking. One, she was an early talker, and two, my wife doesn't let all these fucking opinionated men tell her when it's time to quit breastfeeding. That's a really weird thing when you breastfeed your kid a little bit later into their life, like even into 3 and 4, you get all these men that are like, "That's wrong." We're based on what? "Oh, I want the tits back." What is it based on? It's a weird thing. But it does create uncomfortable situations. I am extremely modest, and my daughter never sees me without my shirt on. And then we get down to Southern California, we're going to Disneyland, we're at the hotel, I decide to take her into the pool. Give mommy a little alone time in the room. And I take my shirt off, and I pick her up, and I start walking to the pool, big crowded pool, and she says out loud, "Ha ha, men have nipples." Thank you, sweetie. I hope none of you think I'm exploiting my child. I'm not. She's just on my writing staff. That's all. She gets paid in oatmeal and raisins. And when you consider that she has full health and dental, she's doing better than most of the comedians I know. So It's a cool deal. But she gives me such gems. I woke up the other morning and I had one goal for the day. My goal was write a joke before going back to bed. Yes, I lead a charmed life. That was my goal for the day, and I walk out, and my daughter's sitting there having breakfast already. When I get up, I look at her and say, hey, sweetheart. And she looks up at me and she says, Daddy, I wish that I had tongues on the bottom of my feet so I could kick things and taste them. And I said, shit, I'm going back to bed. Because I wasn't going to top that, you know, I know that I wasn't going to top that. I've been with my wife for 20 years now, which is a long time. And oh, thank you. That's why I did it. This make you go, oh. That we really like having sex with each other. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud to tell people that I've been in a relationship for 20 years and managed to make that work. But it's also, it's also a little odd at times. Like I feel like when I stand in front of you and I say that I've been in a heterosexual monogamous relationship for 2 decades, you don't think, fuck, I bet that guy's a tiger in the bedroom. You know? It's not advertising like, shit, that guy's hot. You probably think, man, 2 decades, same woman, he's probably pretty vanilla between the sheets. That's what you think, and it's not true. No, it's not. I'm kinky as fuck. My big kick is, I just really want to bang an old lady. And I'm super patient. Most of you got that one right away. Sometimes it takes a minute for people to realize that that's a really sweet joke.
Yeah.
It's the most romantic way you will ever hear anyone say the words, I want to bang an old lady. Hallmark, are you listening? So when my wife and I had the kid, we made the very easy to make decision not to beat her. I didn't think that was a hard decision in this day and age. They gave me this adorable, helpless creature that I'm 100% responsible for, and she kind of looks like me and said, want to hit her? I was like, oh no. But parenting's easy. What's next? How about no hitting? Cool. Yeah, I don't hit her. And I actually have friends that object to this. They take issue with this, and they come up to me and they go, bro, dude, bro, for real? For real, bro, dude, bro, dude. You're not gonna hit her? You're not gonna hit her. Dude, bro, you gotta hit her. You gotta hit her, bro. Sure, it's getting creepy that they're so invested, right? You gotta hit her, and then they throw this one at me. This is their big sell. Hey, bro, dude, bro. When we were kids, we got hit. Right? You and me. Bro, dude, bro. You know it. When we were kids, we got hit. Then I have to sit them down, have that awkward conversation where I explain that we are not what I am aiming for. At all. And what the fuck is so great about us? You know? Who looks around and goes, man, shit's great. We better not change anything. This is going awesome. Let's do an experiment. If we can do an experiment, let's just take one batch. Let's just take one batch of humans and raise them with the ridiculous notion that they can solve problems with words. And if shit doesn't get drastically better, beat the fuck out of the next batch. I don't care. I'll help. I'll be in there. She's like, your brother was a big disappointment. Get out of here. I put a drink pause in there because I thought that one was funnier than it is. Apparently, kids will make you appreciate things in life that you don't appreciate. I was living in a shitty fourplex because that's the only kind they make. Sorry, if you live in a fourplex and you thought it was nice, it's not, it's shitty. One or more of your neighbors is selling drugs. And our shitty fourplex was right by the train tracks. And I thought this was terrible. The trains go by all the time, night and day, they shake the whole place. I thought it was awful, until I had a kid. And then I realized, no, it's actually awesome. Yeah, she says, "Train, Daddy, train!" And I scoop her up and we run outside and we watch trains go by and she's in heaven. It's like Thomas, live. And we can watch in our pajamas. She's naming every car, both by their job they do and their proper Christian title. And she has absolutely no idea that we live there because we're poor. She's like, "Man, those raw food people must pay bank. We've got train front property. This is amazing." I should have told you in the beginning, my daughter's a tiger. I don't know if I even mentioned that. She's a tiger. And what I mean by that is that she decided she likes tigers so much that she wants to be one. She came up to me one day when she was about 2. She said, "Daddy, I'm a tiger." And I support that kind of self-actualization. I said, "Cool. You identify how you want to identify, sweetie. You're my tiger." My tiger has 3 grandmas. She lucked out and got 3 grandmas. Grandmas are good things to have. A lot of kids only have 2 grandmas. She got to have 3 grandmas because Grandpa doesn't know how to behave himself. And the grandmas didn't know that they were going to get a tiger. So they buy her really boring little girl presents. Like the 3 baby dolls that sit on her bed, ignored all the time. Because what use is a baby doll to an orange and black fanged beast, right? Until last week when I see her walking down the hallway and she's pulling this box behind her. And I look in the box and there's all 3 baby dolls. And they've got little washcloth blankets on them. I thought, "Oh, it's adorable." I said, "Sweetie, that's great. You're playing with your dolls." And as she tosses them into the living room, she says over her shoulder, "Tiger food, Dad." Oh, shit. Tiger's gotta eat, right? So I did what a responsible parent does. I went and I grabbed a camera and I started recording her because I need the YouTube hits. And I see her take one of the baby dolls and she goes over and opens a drawer and puts the baby doll inside and shuts the drawer. I said, "Sweetie, what are you doing?" She said, "Oh, it's an oven, Daddy. You gotta cook them."
Raw food.
I'll let her know. Wasn't my first thought. But I did ask her. I said, "Sweetie, how long does one cook a baby doll?" Because the parenting books don't prepare you for this scenario. But I'm pretty sure if they did, their advice wouldn't be compare recipes. Like, I have no idea why my brain went there. How long are you cooking that thing? What do you baste it with, you know? She doesn't miss a beat. She looks up at me. She says, "Oh, about 2 hours." Or until they stop squirming. Yeah. Wait till you hear that come out of your sweet little girl's mouth. Like, I have to admit, for a second there, I was like, shit, maybe I should have hit her. My friends asked me, "Are you scared? Are you scared?" I said, No, I'm not scared. It's awesome. That's just the unbridled imagination of a child who hasn't had it squished. No one's told her it's wrong. I love it, and I can't wait to see where that huge imagination is going to take her. I think it's going to take her far, and I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there being proud dad. That's my job in all this, proud dad. And they say, "Oh yeah? What if she becomes a serial killer?" All right. Female serial killers are rare. Yeah, it's my precious gem. And I can see myself bragging someday. "Oh, excuse me, that's actually 17 known victims?" It's my little tiger. There's this tattoo that's been going around. You guys might have seen it on Facebook or Twitter. This dude got a tattoo on his bicep. He's so proud of it. He got a picture of it and had to put it on the internet right away. He tattooed on his big old bicep, "Thou shalt not," so you know it's going to be good. "Thou shalt not lie with a man, as one lie with a woman. It is an abomination." Which means that snowmen really dig it, right? I don't know, I didn't finish school. But he wanted you to know where it came from. He put the attribution in there, Leviticus. Leviticus, the book of the Bible. And that's why people are passing the image around, because that shit's hilarious. This dude went and got a tattoo on his arm quoting the very book of the Bible that says, "Don't get a tattoo, you douchebag." And I'm paraphrasing, but that shit's in there. But the reason it's funny to me is the wording. "Thou shalt not lie with a man as one lie with a woman." I don't think that says don't be gay. To me, that's just advice on positions, isn't it? Good advice, good advice. The Bible's saying change it up, you know? The Bible's helping you out. It's a good book. That's why they call it that. The Bible's like, listen, you've had sex with a lady and that's a lot of fun, you're welcome. Probably want to try fucking a dude. I mean, why wouldn't you? And seriously, why wouldn't you? I mean, that's what we say to homosexuals. We say, well, have you ever tried straight sex? Well, I don't know. Have you ever tried gay sex? Because if you haven't, then I don't want to hear you saying that you're not gay. I think the best you can say is, I don't think I'm gay. Unless you've actually tried a dick, I don't want you saying that you're not gay any more than they can say that they're not straight. One dick, that's all it takes. And then you'd be like, no, tried one, didn't like it. The rest of you, you just think you're not gay. That's as far as it goes. Right? It's fair. But the Bible is saying, hey, you've had sex with a woman, you're going to try having sex with a dude, listen, slow down, the anatomy is going to be a little different. Adjust. If you just jump right into missionary position, you may end up frustrated. And potentially even injured. You gotta get the legs up a little higher. And I'm sorry, I know, I get some groans, I lose a few of you getting too graphic at the end there. But I had to put that in because I have a lot of gay fans who will come see me and then after the show they say to me, Keith, we can actually do missionary position. And me being who I am, I always say, well, prove it. And then my night gets weird and I gotta sleep sometime. The Bible's helping gay dudes out, saying change it up. I wish that I could believe that dude, that bro that got that tattooed on his arm meant it that way. I wish I could believe that he's just a really nice dude who got that on his arm just to give people a reminder. Just walking around, oh hey, if you're gonna fuck dudes, remember, adjust, like the Bible says. Alright, be safe. But we know that's not the case. We know that's not what he was thinking when he chose to put that message on his arm. He was coming from a different place. This guy chose to tattoo on his arm the sentiment, don't fuck dudes. Very important. Don't fuck dudes. Went through a lot of pain to have that on my bicep, spend money on it. I wear these cut-off shirts all the time. Don't fuck dudes, don't fuck them. That's a weird guy. Eddie told me he didn't really care about language, but he might be counting the fucks by this point, and I'm sorry. But he chose to walk around with that on his arm, and I'm sorry. But if you need don't fuck dudes tattooed on your person, it begs the question, just how shitty is your memory? Because mine's awful. I've done some drugs. I almost never forget not to fuck dudes. I'm really good on that. I didn't have to go all memento on my ass or anything. I just don't fuck them. It's fairly natural. You'll never see me walking around Safeway like just racking my brain. Like, oh, what is it? God, I know I gotta get bread and we're out of tofu. Eddie says it's not good for you. I get some almond milk. Oh my God, don't fuck dudes. Sir, I am so sorry. I'm not even supposed to be in this restroom. I gotta get out of here. I'm doing some writing lately. I'm working on a country western song. It's pretty good, I think. I've only got the title. It's as far as I've gotten, but I think it's a winner. It's called Her Safe Word Was Goodbye. If anyone knows a few guitar chords and some words that rhyme with goodbye, hit me up. See what we can do. I recently reread George Orwell's 1984. And that's a fun book to read on this side of 1984. Like the first time they made me read it was before 1984. And you read it on this side and you can kind of laugh at it. Like Orwell supposed that by this point in our history, we would all be speaking some kind of super efficient newspeak. And I read that and I have to tell you, I just LOL. You know what I mean? And L, and L, and L. And Orwell never could have foreseen that we would all go out and buy the cameras ourselves. And then our biggest fear would be that nobody's watching. I'm working on suicide notes a lot lately. Okay, if you think that's the funny part, that's fine. There's always a few in every crowd. Sorry. That's the first time I've ever gotten an apology for that. It's okay. I set you up. That was all me. But no, seriously, don't worry about me. I think it's an underappreciated art form. I thought I would take a stab at it, which may be a poor choice of words. But I've come up with one that I think is pretty good. It goes, you can have my records, but I'm taking all my pills. Kisses. That was pretty good. Looked at that one and thought, shit, I might have to do this. Let's talk about depression a little bit, because I do suffer depression once in a while. Try to take good care of myself, eat better, but sometimes I get depressed. And I think, that's the thing, you have to decide. Like, are you actually suffering from depression, or are you just legitimately sad because shit actually kind of sucks sometimes? You know? And when you go in to see a therapist and they go, so you suffer from some depression, and you go, I don't know, does shit kind of suck? They don't give you a straight answer. They write you a prescription and they send you on your way. They're not very helpful. Oh, and just a real quick aside, I have gone to therapy, and it was funny because I tried to go to therapy with my wife, and we're doing good, but after, the first 10 years in, it's like, maybe there's some stuff we could use some help working out. And I call for relationship therapy, and the receptionist that answers the phone is asking more personal questions than I thought they would. And then she says, what do you do for a living? And I said, well, I'm a stand-up comedian. And she said, ooh, kind of flirty. And then she goes, I love a man with a sense of humor. And I thought, that's wildly fucking inappropriate. Did she get a job at the relationship counseling place to pick up men on the rebound? That's really creepy. I mean, the women in the audience think it's funny. And I know that if it was a dude doing that, my guy friends would be like, that guy's a fucking genius. That guy got a job at the Pussy Factory. That's amazing. That is amazing. He's incredible. But I'll give you a quick example of something that made me sad that I think is legitimate. I had to buy life insurance. If you have a kid and you don't have life insurance, you might be an asshole. So I know it's an important thing to do. I've never been a big insurance guy. But I go in to get the life insurance, and I've never had money. I've never driven a car that wasn't a hand-me-down or a really dope Volkswagen bus. I could talk about that for a few hours. But to me, that was success. It was like, man, I got a Volkswagen bus, and there's a bed in the back. So during those times when I forget to pay my rent, I'm set. That was when I made it, But I'm buying life insurance, and I'm going and I'm talking to a woman who came from a very different place. I think she'd have trouble relating to me. We're from different castes, basically, is what I'm saying. I know that if you forget to wear deodorant, you can go into a bathroom and take some soap, especially the antibacterial stuff, and put a little under your armpits, and it works. I don't think she ever knew that. See, that's different worlds, Like when I plan a vacation, I think about where there are Starbucks or AMPMs, because they have single-use bathrooms where you can go in and give yourself a little shower real quick if you need to. I don't think she plans her vacations the same way. Because she's talking to me and she's just taking for granted that I'll understand these huge numbers that she's throwing at me, and they're numbers that are abstract to me. Anything above what you could buy a Volkswagen bus for, I'm like, what? I don't know, how much is that? I actually was sitting in her office trying to picture the amount of dollars she was talking about in frozen peas. I was like, I don't know how many frozen peas that is. Would that like cover the table or actually like run over and like fill part of the kitchen? You know? And I'm thinking about that. And she puts the paper in front of me, and then it dawns on me, no matter how many frozen peas this is, if I sign this piece of paper, I'm worth something. For the first time in my life, I never thought I even cared, but wow, here I am. I signed this, and I'm worth something. If I die. And that's depressing. And when your little girl is exploring her mortality, and she says to you, Daddy, I hope you never die. Your first thought shouldn't be, are you sure? You can go to school. You can go to college. I have no filter, so I said all this out loud to the insurance lady, which is a bad idea. She doesn't skip a beat. She says, oh, and insurance is not covered for the first 48 months. I'm sorry. Suicide. Fuck that joke up. She says suicide is not covered for the first 48 months. Whoa. Just tell me I could kill myself in 4 years. I mean, you're not the first person to invite me to do that, but I've never had anyone give me a time scale and a paycheck at the end of it. Like, that's weird. And what's depressing is that I know, standing here right now, that I have 16 months left. I did not intend to keep track. But when someone gives you a number like that, you can't help it. Every visit to the calendar becomes like a really morbid advent calendar. Under every date, instead of a piece of chocolate, you hope for like a Prozac or something, you know? Just gotta get through. But like I said, I have done some therapy, and I think I've turned a corner. I think I've realized what happened in my life and why I get a little depressed sometimes. Here's the thing. Sometimes your life peaks early. That's what happened to me. My life just peaked a little early. You know, or to put it another way, sometimes life goes on long after the thrill of living has gone. Somebody should write a song. And I'll tell you about when my life peaked. When I was in the 4th grade, yes, I went out to have lunch at school, and our lunch area had these seagulls that would fly around overhead, and we would throw them little pieces of pizza crust, and they would eat the pizza crust, and it was a really happy, symbiotic relationship. And then one day I walk out there, and there's a 6th grader, and he's got a handful of pebbles, and he's throwing rocks at my seagulls. And I was like, what an asshole. And I sat down, and then he hit one. He hit one of the birds, and he hit it hard. And the seagull cried. Have you guys ever heard a seagull cry? I don't mean that noise they make. It means, hey, throw me another pizza crust. I mean the sound of just betrayal and sadness. I'm sorry, Prince. I'm sure when doves cry, it's fucking heartbreaking. But this shit turned me inside out. Like, this should have been your song. And I turn to the 6th grader and I expect to see regret and remorse. And instead, what I see is, fuck yeah, bro, got one. And he puts his hand out for a 5. And at exactly that second, a bird shit in his hand. Yeah.